Hello everybody, welcome to the weather forecast. I'm Dooley Godot, also known as Mr. G. Many of you know me as Mr. G, but we're going to jump into that weather forecast because we have a lot to talk about this Monday evening, and we're going to be seeing a lot of severe weather out there across parts of the Midwest. We have a significant threat for severe weather in parts of the Midwest today and again tomorrow. So let's jump into our very first map and take a look at what's going on with the latest storm system tracking across the country from the west to the east. And in our first map, this is our current radar situation right now, where we're seeing severe thunderstorms coming up across central Texas. So we got a line of severe storms headed towards the Dallas area. This also will be affecting Oklahoma City. We just seen a line move just to the north of Tulsa, but we're going to see that line from Oklahoma City and North Texas move over the Tulsa area too. So I-44 is really in the line of fire for these severe thunderstorms coming up from Texas, Oklahoma, and across Missouri and over towards Illinois. We're seeing those severe thunderstorms, and we're going to see those storms really fire later on into as we get closer toward the sunset. Actually, a lot of these are going to be nocturnal, so we're going to see some nighttime severe thunderstorms that's going to produce tornadoes, very large hail. We're going to see large tornadoes, a good chance for several EF2 or stronger tornadoes, 2-inch diameter hail, and very heavy rainfall with this line of severe weather that we're going to be seeing, that we are seeing moving across the Midwest right now. And then our next map, this is where we're going to see that threat for severe weather throughout this evening, and we're going to be seeing those severe thunderstorms from Texas here, down from San Antonio, Waco, and Austin, Dallas, Oklahoma City. And look at here, this is where we have that moderate risk for severe weather on our significant outbreak potential here across eastern Oklahoma, central into eastern Oklahoma, and southeastern Kansas, Missouri, and Arkansas, and into Illinois. And we're seeing those severe thunderstorms. And what we're going to see later on this evening is those thunderstorms, that line of thunderstorms coming up out of Oklahoma and Texas will form into what's called a mesoscale convective complex, or the mesoscale MCS. So we're going to see an MCS, and that MCS is going to produce lots of large hail, and we're going to see tornadoes, especially on the southwestern and the southern fringes of that MCS. We're going to see the potential for tornadoes, but the tornado threat is actually deadlier down here because we have a dry line. So we got dry line thunderstorms coming across Texas, and those thunderstorms will be elevated. So we're going to see high base thunderstorms that's going to produce very large hail, low precipitation thunderstorms down here across Texas and into Oklahoma. These will primarily be low precipitation thunderstorms, but large hail. And those tornadoes, we're going to see long rope tornadoes and stovepipe tornadoes, cone tornadoes. These will be elevated tornadoes. The thunderstorm bases will be higher in the atmosphere, so those will be excellent research tornadoes. The thunderstorms will be excellent for the researchers. So guys like Jim Cantori and Reed Timmer, the scientists out there, can get out there and chase those storms. And these will be excellent for scientific research, because we will see thunderstorms where we will see lots of definition in the clouds. you will see what's going on in the atmosphere. That's why I like the elevated storms across the plains, and that's why these are the best storms to perform research activities in. Now, however, here across the northern plains in the upper Midwest, the Ohio Valley, those storms will be fueled by a warm front that's moving up because we have a triple point right here across Missouri, because we have an area of low pressure. We got our cold front and dry line, and then we have a warm front lifting to the north out here across the Ohio Valley, and that will be where the MCS sets up, and the heavy rainfall we will see across Illinois, Indiana, and Ohio through the evening hours, and we're going to see those nocturnal thunderstorms because a lot of MCSs or MCCs, a mesoscale convective complex, or mesoscale convective system, typically develop at night. They are typically driven by low-level jets in the mid-levels of the atmosphere. So we'll see that. We will see a big mass of thunderstorms rotating around a central area of low pressure. So here's a look at that area where we're going to see that threat tomorrow for a significant severe weather event across the Ohio Valley, Columbus, Ohio, Cincinnati, Pittsburgh. If you're in this region, Charleston, South Carolina, Charleston, West Virginia, Fort Wayne, Indiana, Indianapolis as well, Cleveland also. So if you're in Ohio, the Ohio Valley tomorrow, you're going to be in the area where we're going to see that significant, this is a moderate risk for severe thunderstorms across the Ohio Valley tomorrow. And we're going to see again heavy rain, damaging winds, 70 plus miles per hour, 1 to 2 inch diameter hail, and large tornadoes is going to be the primary threat. So all modes of severe weather will be likely tomorrow across the Ohio Valley. And then here's a larger look of the storms that we're going to see tomorrow here across the Midwest and all the way down to the Gulf Coast. We have a marginal risk that we're going to see thunderstorms down to Mobile, Jackson, and Montgomery, Alabama, Columbus, Mississippi, and Atlanta. We're going to see the possibility of some severe weather, but we have a bigger threat across Nashville and Huntsville, Alabama, over to Asheville, North Carolina, so in Roanoke, Virginia, we're going to see again that slight risk for severe thunderstorms tomorrow for your Tuesday. All right, so we have a tornado watch and severe thunderstorm watches in effect here across the plains. So severe thunderstorm here across central Texas, North Texas, we have a tornado watch across central Oklahoma up to the Kansas state line and into parts of Missouri. We have a tornado watch, and we have a severe thunderstorm watch across southeastern Kansas. A tornado watch in effect across central Missouri to Illinois, across south central Illinois as well. We have a tornado watch in effect right now. And here is the forecast for our storm. This is where we're seeing our storm coming across the plains today. Tomorrow it's going to be across the Midwest and the Ohio Valley. And then on Wednesday, we're going to see it moving east of the Ohio Valley and then toward the Northeast. And it's going to be a nor'easter as we head into Thursday. And that's going to bring heavy snow across the mountains of New England and Maine, Vermont, New Hampshire, Massachusetts, and upstate New York. We're going to see heavy snow as we have a late season snowstorm to continue it across the Northeast. And heavy rain along the mid-Atlantic, the Southeast, and into Florida as well. Heavy rain for your day tomorrow. So we're going to see our storm system as it progresses from the middle of the country to the eastern portions of the country over the next several days. And then we'll see lots of wet weather. Here is our future radar as we see that mesoscale convective system makes its way from the Ohio Valley and off the mid-Atlantic coast there. So that's going to bring thunderstorms to D.C., New York, and into New Jersey, and Pittsburgh, and Philadelphia is also going to see some severe thunderstorms, and then across parts of Virginia. So we're talking about Roanoke, we're going to see those severe thunderstorms, Arlington, and around the D.C. area. That area of low pressure is going to go right over you as it heads off towards the northeastern coast, and we're going to see that rain move into Boston. But I don't think that we're going to see severe weather into the Boston area, but we will see some heavy rain move into that region up into Thursday as well. So here it is as we check the evolution of this storm system, and tomorrow our storm system moving into the upper Midwest. Now we have what's called a double barrel low pressure center. So we got one area of low pressure here. This one is going to head up toward the north and northeast, but we got another low pressure center that's going to develop right about here, and that's going to be our nor'easter, and that's going to head, and that's going to form along this broken trough here. This is a trough because it's a warm front, but it's stagnant. It's not moving, so we're going to see that area of low pressure form right about here, and that's going to head off toward the northeast, and that's going to bring a lot of rain, but that's also going to help a lot of snow come in across the interior portions of Maine, Vermont, New Hampshire, upstate New York, down through the middle of New York, and possibly northwestern Pennsylvania as well. So Buffalo, Rochester, Syracuse, Burlington, Vermont, Concord, New Hampshire, Rutland, Augusta, Maine, Portland, Maine, those areas we're going to see that heavy snow as we have nor'easter conditions that's going to set up across the northeast as we head into Thursday and Friday. So be ready for nor'easter conditions with heavy snow and heavy rain along the I-95 corridor. It's going to stay warm along the coastal areas, but we're going to see heavy snow over the interior portions of New England and towards the St. Lawrence River Valley into parts of the eastern Great Lakes. So Lake Erie, Lake Ontario, we're going to see heavy snow across that region. Okay, so here is our secondary low pressure system. Very heavy rain focused along the eastern seaboard. So from the southeast here, the Carolinas, Georgia, all the way down to Florida, to North Carolina, Virginia, Pennsylvania, New Jersey, Connecticut, Rhode Island, parts of Massachusetts as well. We have that secondary low, our nor'easter here, that's going to ride along the coastline, and that's going to be bringing that heavy rain along I-95 and the big cities, but heavy snow over the interior portions. Our secondary low, this low will dissipate, a washout we call it. It's going to wash out or get absorbed by the main upper level pattern, the flow, and get carried off, and it's going to wash off. But this low is going to strengthen and move along the coastal and bring that heavy rain and funnel in that northeasterly breeze, that northeasterly wind off the North Atlantic, and that's going to make for the heavy snow over the interior portions of New England. Okay, so as we look at Thursday, our nor'easter is now off the coast of the northeast here, just south of Boston, Hartford, Connecticut, Providence, Rhode Island. Here and just to the east of New York City, we're going to see that low pressure, but it's going to bring very strong winds along the coastal areas where we're going to see winds in excess of 50 miles per hour. So very strong winds, heavy snow over the interior portions in the mountains. So Bangor, Portland, Augusta, in Boston, I don't think we're going to see much in the way of snow. We're going to see rain. You might see a mix toward the end, but I don't think Boston is going to pick up, and Hartford as well, and even down to New York. I don't think you guys are going to be picking up a lot of snow. We're going to see rain and maybe a snow and rain mix at the end once the low pressure center moves on off toward the northeast towards Newfoundland. And we're going to see it moving towards Newfoundland and Labrador and headed off. That's going to head off toward the North Atlantic and Greenland and Iceland. We're going to see this low pressure depart the area as we head into Friday. Okay, so your weather forecast is Tuesday across the east. That's severe weather across the Ohio Valley, down the western slopes of the Appalachia here, down towards the mid-south. So Tennessee, Kentucky, so Nashville, down into North Georgia, so Atlanta northward. Alabama. So Huntsville, Alabama, and Montgomery, we're going to see thunderstorms for your Tuesday. And then parts of Mississippi, we're going to see thunderstorms and some severe weather possible as well across that region. Okay, so your Wednesday weather forecast, our nor'easter really begins to take shape and set up and makes its way toward the coast before it making that turn toward the northeast. But we have that stationary front that's going off the coast. We have our cold front along the eastern side of the leeward side of the Appalachian Mountains. So our cold front is going to be here along the mountain range. We have our low pressure center, our cold core low right here, and that low pressure center is going to head off toward this direction, towards Boston, right off the coast. But in doing so, that front is going to bring all of that rain up along I-95, and we're going to see that heavy rain. But once that low pressure center makes its way towards the southern tip of Canada, we're going to see that cold air from the northeast and those 50 mile per hour winds and heavy snow over the interior portions of New England. Once again, I'm going to reiterate that a late season snowstorm is on the way across the northeast, as well as a copious amount of severe weather across the Midwest and the upper Midwest and the Ohio Valley. We are looking at a significant severe weather event to take place today and tomorrow. So 2 days of significant severe weather across the Midwest and heavy rain along the eastern seaboard and heavy snow along the interior portions of New England and the Northeast. Here is the snowfall forecast for those amounts, and we're going to be seeing some areas here across Maine, Vermont, New Hampshire, upstate New York. We're going to see 18 to 24 inches, but some areas are going to pick up as much as 36. So we got a few isolated spots picking up 36 inches, but a lot of folks across central New York, Syracuse, Buffalo, Albany, we're going to see those folks a lot of you folks in the 5 to 8, or maybe some folks in the 8 to 12. So a lot of you are going to see 5 to 8, but much lower snowfall amounts across parts of Pennsylvania, West Virginia, Kentucky, Ohio as well. We're going to see less than an inch for some of you folks there. But across Michigan, we are going to see a little bit of snow across northern Michigan. Near the Mackinac Bridge, we're going to see some of you folks pick up 3 to 5 inches over that way, and over Wisconsin as well. So eastern Wisconsin, we might see a little bit of snow for you folks picking up that 1 to 3, okay? So again, a pretty significant late season storm. I'm happy that this is going to miss Minnesota. It's not going to affect us in any way. So that's good news for me. For once, so I'm happy about that. So I'm glad this is going to be mostly to the east of my area. Here is the rainfall forecast for your area through Wednesday. Now, mind you, this storm will continue through Thursday and into Friday, but this forecast is just to Wednesday. And look at this here. Pennsylvania, West Virginia, Northern Virginia, New Jersey. This is 2 to 3 inches of rain. So we're looking at heavy rainfall across parts of the mid-Atlantic and along the I-95 corridor. We're looking at a lot of areas picking up 3 inches. Mostly it's going to be 1 to 2 inches. And further down here to the south, a lot of folks is going to be between a ½ inch to an inch, a lot lesser, lower rainfall totals across those regions. Here is what's going on the West Coast. We do have our storm system that's moving into the Midwest. Part of it is affecting the West Coast, so we're looking at some rain here across. We saw some rain here, rain across Southern California into Arizona, New Mexico. We're looking at some snow in the mountains, and this is all in correlation with that Midwestern part of the storm right now. And we're going to be looking at about a ½ inch to an inch of rain across Southern California for today. All right, through the day today, and we still have a flood watch in effect across the Southland. So from San Luis Obispo down here to San Diego, we have a flood watch in effect. And then we have our next Monday, woo, the 8th is going to be a big day because we got a full eclipse on Monday the 8th. Okay, so we're going to talk about that eclipse right now, and we're going to talk about the viewing, how good is it going to be, who's going to see a full eclipse. So if you are in this region right here in this dark space, that's where the 100% totality of coverage, but the weather is not going to cooperate for a lot of you. So if you are in Burlington, a few clouds, still you'll see pretty good viewing. Few clouds in Buffalo. Many clouds in Indianapolis. It's going to be cloudy in Indianapolis. Little Rock is going to be cloudy. Dallas is going to be pretty cloudy as well. And Eagle Pass is going to be overcast. So many of you'll know when it happens. It's still going to get dark, but you're just not going to be able to see it very great because it's going to be ducking in and out of clouds. But unfortunately, in Eagle Pass, Texas, down there by San Antonio, complete overcast. So you might not see it at all, but you'll notice the weirdness when it's getting dark, but you just won't be able to see it with your eyeball because it's going to be cloudy. And it's going to be cloudy. Now, if you are not in that region, depending on how far you are, you're going to go down by percentages. So some places might see 80% coverage, 70%, and you'll still notice changes. But a lot of places is going to be pretty cloudy, and it's not going to be the best. But we'll have more. There's another eclipse coming later on, and we're going to talk about that one. And maybe hopefully on the next one, you'll be able to get a view because we have another one coming later this year, I think. So here again, Burlington, Vermont, a few clouds in the area in the forecast. So again, okay there. Syracuse, a few clouds. Buffalo, a few clouds. Pittsburgh will have a few clouds in the area. But Pittsburgh, I think it's going to be like 95% coverage. So it's just right on the edge, but a few clouds. And then Detroit will have a few clouds. And Detroit, too, is right on the edge of the totality. So you guys are going to be 90% to 100% of coverage of the total eclipse, but a few clouds in your forecast. So, and again here, Cleveland will have a lot of clouds, partly the mostly cloudy in Cleveland. Indianapolis, Paducah, Kentucky, a few clouds for you. better than Indianapolis and Cleveland. I mean, better than those two. And St. Louis will have a few clouds, but again, 90% or more to 95%. You're right on the edge of it. And then as we head further down, down towards Little Rock, Arkansas, gonna be pretty cloudy. Not the greatest. Dallas the same. Shreveport, you guys are just out on the edge again. San Antonio is right on the edge, but it's going to be overcast. So the worst place you want to be is in San Antonio. So South Texas is going to suck. But you are going to see a lot of clouds in Dallas and other places. So not the best weather for a solar eclipse, because a lot of places you want completely clear skies. But some places, like further to the northeast, in the north upper Midwest there, some areas is going to have only a few clouds. Mostly sunny for the most part. A few clouds around, but some of you are going to be pretty cloudy, so that's going to kind of suck. So here again, here is the towns that will be in the line for the solar eclipse. So we're going to start at San Antonio, Texas. We're going to be at a 51% chance that it's going to be clear enough to see it. So we're going to see a lot of clouds. So Dallas, Texas, Little Rock, Arkansas, Paducah, Kentucky, Indianapolis, Dayton, Ohio, Cleveland, Buffalo, Syracuse, and Burlington, Vermont are the major metropolitan areas in the path of the total solar eclipse. That is your weather forecast. My name is Mr. G. Thank you for watching today, and be careful out there in the Midwest as you deal with that severe weather. It's pretty nasty out there. Lots of heavy rain going to fall across the Ohio Valley. Going to watch for tornadoes and large hail, especially down across Texas and Oklahoma. We're going to be watching for those baseball and softball size hail, and those high elevated tornadoes, and those low precipitation severe thunderstorms. Those are the best. So a great day out there to be a storm chaser. Thank you for watching. Leave your likes, comments, subscribe on TikTok or YouTube. Have a great day, and I will see y'all tomorrow night. Bye-bye.